Fury.
What next for Tyson is we need to get him out. Whether these cowboys get the job sorted, which I don't think they're going to do. What they've signed nothing in my eyes. They've got no date, no venue, no nothing. Tyson needs to fight twice this year, with or without AJ. Tyson is not bothered about any heavyweight on the planet. He's past all that being bothered about this man and that man. It's a business to Tyson, and we need to move on and get a living properly and sharpen his tools and keep him sharp in case that big night comes knocking.
But there is a piece of paper with their signatures on it, right?
What does it mean if you can't get a date and a venue? You know, what does it mean if nobody's willing to put the money up? You know, it's all about somebody coming forward and saying, right, I'll pay for the fight, I'll stage the fight. Where are these people?
And is that...
What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. Wow. Well. All them goofy dons in my comment section. Oh, YB. Oh, YB, mate. When you gonna apologise? Oh, YB, you're wrong, mate. Eddie Hearn said it's signed. Oh, YB, mate. What about this? What about that? What I tell you, man? I said, settle yourselves to YB. But listen, I can't blame you, man, there. Because you, man, have 40 IQ out here. So you man, ain't seeing the things I'm seeing. And that's what I'm here for. But listen, when a YB tells you something ain't happening, and there's reasons for it, just sit back, relax. If you can't comprehend what I'm saying, just sit back and take my word for it. You know what? I think what Eddie Hearn said, it's signed. But the YB said different. Let me just second myself and see why I go on. Oh, YB, it's signed. It's signed, YB. Barnaby, are you going to apologise, YB? Oh, all this goofy talk. Just relax yourselves. Relax yourselves. Not one piece of evidence from none of these men from Fury's side have even hinted at an inkling that they want this fight. It's not rocket. I'd love to sit here and tell you it's my PhD in psychology that's getting me to these conclusions. Just listen to what the man's saying. For some reason you want to fight it. I do feel sorry. I do understand though. We all want this fight. But wanting this fight makes me laugh because a lot of the people who were agreeing the Wilder and AJ fight ain't going to happen because Wilder don't want it. All of a sudden, because it's their Don, Fury, they're losing this, all the same things Wilder was saying, almost word for word. The only difference is, luckily enough for Fury, he's got the C19 business to fall back on. Isn't it amazing? He's been saved by the bell, but even putting the C19 rhetoric to the side, they've been saying the same arguments. What was Wilder saying? Oh man, you know, this is a $400 million fight and, all that kind of stuff. Oh, well, we want $400 million. I got the money in the bag. There's $50 million in the bag. I got the money in the bag. All that kind of stuff. You heard it. 100% confirmed. No doubt. And what you didn't hear, the YB brought to you. Exclusive wiretap for them exclusive under the cover conversations and whatnot. But let's get back serious. Fury, his dad. See, they love this. And I mentioned I've done a few videos on it. Fish Eyes. Fish Eyes has been a boxing man through and through. And I feel sorry for Fish Eyes because I do believe he wants the big fights. He needs them. Yeah, his balance sheet needs the big fights. And he was buzzing for it, as was Bob Arum. But just look how they've changed. Frank Warren was, yep, we're going to get in there and wash AJ. Now all of a sudden he's turned into a PhD economist in regulations, isn't he? Oh, well, have you seen, no word of a lie, yeah? Frank Warren, a boxing promoter, all he wants to talk about on IFL TV interviews now is the latest regulations. Oh, have you heard about the new tier? Have you heard about Phase 7? I swear down. Coogan said, Frank, we made a bit of an error. There weren't no error. IFL called a spade a spade. IFL reported what Frank Warren said, which was the fight ain't happening. But Coogan felt obliged to kind of backpedal, now it's been exposed, the fight is not on, and said, oh, Frank, do you want to do an interview, or can you just clear up what you said on the last interview? Because it was a bit negative. Frank said, well, actually, have you seen the latest regulations? The latest regulations saying it can't happen, so you never know, it can get worse from here. I swear down, go watch it. Frank Warren, when asked to clear up what he said, because Fish Eyes came out and said it ain't happening. And then, rather than saying, even at that point, even at the point of trying to clear up what he said that was so negative, he didn't say, you know what, this is going to happen, we're pushing for it. No matter what happens, we're going to get it on, both people want it. He didn't say that. He used a negative to kind of double back on himself. Well, look, rather than kind of changing what he said with positive words, he backed up his negativity. Yes, I don't think it's going to happen. Look at the latest regulations. Things are shutting down again. So you never know where it's going to go. It can all go down the pan. I think that's what he said. Oh, it can all go down the pan at a moment's notice. That's what he said. Not one of these men have put a lick of positivity. And Eddie Hearn watched the YB's videos and said the same thing on IFL. He said, Eddie said, oh, you heard it the other day. I reported on it myself. Eddie Hearn said on to Coogan, he said, yo, I listened to YB and ended up, after watching YB's videos, I had to ring Fish Eyes and Bob Arum and say, Bob, do you really want this fight? I've just been listening to the YB and he's putting things together that I ain't seen myself, and it's kind of feeling like you man don't want this fight. Because there ain't no one else on YouTube putting the game together, but the YB was. So I finished listening to the YB and he said, and I come to the conclusion, you man are sounding a little iffy right now. And even then, they didn't say nothing positive in response. And putting all the negative and positive, that stuff ain't really the problem here. We're beyond positive and negative. It's straight out. You heard the man on here. Let's go through what he said, word for word, shall we, for a hot second. They've signed nothing in my eyes. Oh yes, Tyson Fury, he needs to fight twice this year, no matter who it is. AJ or not. You what? Your man, Fury, your son, the big stiff, good for nothing Don, who got knocked out by Dillian White in sparring, and the YB leaked the video, and all the Fury fans are staying their feelings mad as you like. Your son went on a Good Morning Britain UK press tour, laughing at AJ and proving the fact that AJ don't want the fight because he didn't call you out. No, you're right, he didn't call you. Well, he did actually. He said he can be you if you want it. If you don't bottle the contract negotiations, AJ already knew what was going to happen. And all the Goofy Fury fans were loving it. Oh, yeah, look. AJ didn't dare say his name. No. AJ knows, much like all of us do who are really neutral, we know where it's going. Look at what happened with Wilder. Exactly the same thing. What's the point calling someone out that's going to sit there and be all in the contract? And this is the thing as well. These are men who are never all in the contract. Fury, I'll do it on the cobbles. I'll fight you on the cobbles. No problem. Don't worry about the cobbles. Take 100 million and just settle yourself and get in the ring. Oh, no. All of a sudden, we're talking people here who are meant to be true fighting men who will fight you anywhere. John Fury even goes on to contradict himself in this same interview. Oh, yeah, well, C-19. Yeah, well, pandemic. Yeah, well, this. Yeah, well, that. Yeah, well, we need more money. And then he says, well, don't get it twisted. If Team AJ sign it, we'll fight him anyway. What? You've just been spent the first 3 minutes saying, no, it can't happen because Fury needs to get sharp. That's what he said. He said, the fight can't happen because Fury needs to get sharp just in case the big fight comes down the line. Just in case the big fight comes down the line. This is it. This is the big fight. What are you talking about? Well, I know what you're talking about because Fury's been saying the same thing. Oh, we need 2 fights this year regardless. And if this wasn't real yet, if this was in my imagination, just listen to the lines they've got. This isn't coincidence. It's not a coincidence John Fury and his son are saying exactly the same thing. They're not. If John Fury didn't say he needs to fight 3 times this year, he needs to fight twice this year, AJ or not. What did Fury say word for word? I'm fighting twice this year, AJ or not. That tells me, and combined with the fact that Bob Arum, Fish Eyes, and Fury and John Fury, they're all saying the pandemic, all saying C-90, all saying the regulations, all saying the money in the venue and the date. That's not just coincidence. They've clearly got a line here. And I believe it's driven by Fury himself. Because to be fair to Frank and Bob Arum, why wouldn't they? Don't make a scrap of difference. Why wouldn't they want it? They want it. But what they're doing is, they can't knock back their man, can they? Otherwise, Fury will leave and just go and join Eddie Hearn. They don't want that at all. So Frank Warren's learnt. Look at what happened with Billy Joe. Frank Warren's learnt. Keep my head down and just go with it. Let's not rock the boat. I don't want another Billy Ho going on. But where Billy Ho left Frank and now he's with Eddie Hearn. He can't afford that. Not now. So he's not going to rock the boat. And he's just going to go along with it and shill for Team Fury. It's embarrassing. Someone from their side needs to come out and say he's cacked his pants. And it's fine to do. There's nothing wrong with that. It's fine to do. But just be honest with the people. I'm sure there'll be some super fans who still want to support you. But all this trying to carry on like you're not shook to death, it's not a good look. Because this is the thing, Fury ain't even lying to you, man, anymore. He's just flat out, straight up and down. I don't want this fight. I want to fight two bums. Please let me fight two bums. That's what he wants to do. And I've been saying that for about a year now. People don't want to listen. Oh, Fury's the best thing since John F. Kennedy. What's that man's name? The first one? Since John L. Sullivan, that's it. Since JFK, all this kind of, bringing all these mad names in. Oh, since MLK, I'm the best boxer. Isn't it? That's what he says. Throwing in all these big 3-letter word names. Historical 3-letter dons. That's what he does. Oh, giving it all that. Don't worry about all that. Just get in there. And I can't understand. Well, I can understand. The reason it's proven as fear is the fact that we don't have this problem anywhere else. We've got more money. We've got more everything, more lights, more belts. There's more of everything to go around, but for some reason, every time it comes to AJ, there's a stumbling block. And I can't believe Andy Ruiz's fight got done. Every other fight gets done. So please explain to me. I can't believe it's AJ. Why is that? And I guess the Fury fans or Wilder fans, they're kind of protected because they argue, well, look, Fury and Wilder got together, which proves it's AJ. No, it don't prove it's AJ. It proves they both know who the man is. Fury and Wilder know who the man is. Because between themselves, they're like, well, I reckon I can have him. And that's the bottom line proof here. You never see any bickering between two men who want to fight. Do you know what I'm saying? You just don't see that. You never see any problems. When two men but both believe they can genuinely win, there's never any problems. You don't hear anything. And that's why, in a way, hats off to Triple G Spot and Canelo. Both men believe they can win. You didn't hear about all this back and forth for years, did you? There might have, don't get me wrong, there was a period of negotiation, but it got on. I don't remember hearing anything, really. A month or two, and that was it, done. And the rematch, done. Now all of a sudden it gets to the crunch time. We're here now. The big hurrah, and there's problems. This fight's not. The world's too unstable for this fight. What are you talking about? I thought your man will fight him in the phone box. And we're not talking about small amounts of money here. And what I can't understand is Fury fought Wilder for about 5 million, 5-10 million at the most. You're getting 10 times that. So what is the issue? Apart from you're just shook to your boots. And that's fine. We all have to deal with being shook to our boots. But don't try and make out it's other things. Oh, it's the you know what the world's like. No, we don't know what the world's like. We don't know what it's like to get $100 million and turn it down and blame the world. No, we don't. That's your business, innit? Don't sit there and make out it's the world. It's not. It's you. You're choosing not to do the fight. So come out and own it. I've been offered 50 million and I don't want it. I'm shook. I don't want no parts of it. And listen, this is how I think Fury needs to come out. He needs to sit down with Russell Crowe and say, listen, Russell, just sit there and put the camera on. End their day. I went in there, in the sparring, 10 years ago, and I weren't joking. He touched me all over, and it's a Me Too thing. Yeah? Now, 10 years later, I'm breaking my silence. AJ touched me all over, proper as well. And I ain't felt the same since. And now, I'm faced with him again. I can't go back there, too much trauma. That's what you need to come out and say, too much trauma. Yeah? Fury, speak your truth. You already half did it on Steve Bunce's program. You already half heard it. But let's come out honest now, and then we can let all this go. I swear to God, I won't mention this again. If Fury comes out and speaks his truth, just puts it all out there. AJ touched me all over, up and down. Yeah, got all up inside them guts. Listen. How can I argue with that? And we can walk away, and don't get me wrong, Fury can carry on. You know, he can go around WWE and fight all these Eurobomb dons, and he can do that circuit of Fury versus Chisora 4, and you know, I'm not saying you don't have to retire, but just be honest with yourself. Relieve yourself of the belt and just be going one of them ones. And then you can get back to the whole Fury and Wilder, what do they call it? The whole Fury and Wilder saga and series. Because clearly, well, I'm not even sure Fury wants to do that either now. But either way, whatever you want to do, just don't lie anymore. I'm sick of it now. And it's blatantly obvious. And even half of your fans who have got any sense, they're coming round as well. Something don't smell right. John Fury in this video says, "Oh well, you know, if I can't blame AJ for not wanting it." What? You just explained how you got. I haven't heard one bit of negativity out of Team AJ's mouth, and it's not about posturing. Eddie Hearn's genuinely trying to make this fight. Show me a video, where Frank Warren said, "Oh, I'm calling around, I'm getting offers." I don't think they're doing anything. I think they're just sitting back, which is typical. Same as the Wilder thing. Wilder wants 400 million. Fury's team want 400 million, but they ain't doing the work. It's amazing. It really is, honestly. For a 50-50 fight, it's amazing how little work how much value or how little value they bring to the table. For 50-50, they should be out there. Like, that's what teams meant to do. When you've got two promotional teams, two promotional teams as well, Bob Arum and Frank Warren, you man are meant to add value. Eddie Hearn's adding value. He's out there prospecting, doing the sales thing, you know what I mean? Kissing babies and whatnot, visiting the sheikhs and all kind of madness, and in the black book and all. How do you think you got in the black book? That's how you do that. You have to. If you're not in the black book, you ain't got the contacts. Simple as that. 100% confirmed. Yeah, Eddie Hearn, Barry Hearn, all in the video, all in the black book. That's how you secure big contracts. What fish eyes? Why aren't you putting the work in? Why aren't you out there, getting your face out there? Yeah, getting the numbers up, getting them bids up. Just sitting back moaning about regs. Oh well, you see that latest regulation, and what are we doing here? Is this the fight game or not, or the moaning game? All I've heard is a pole bagger man moaning. Some madness as well. You've got the opportunity of a lifetime to defeat your big foe, take all the money, and all you want to talk about is all the problems and how things can't work. It's an embarrassment to the true fighting man. Big John Fury. And then you got, what gets me the most is the fact you got BT up there and David Hay just got no spine whatsoever. They see, I don't know what it is. People are shook of John Fury. They're shook of him. I don't know why. I don't get it. It's a big old man. I'll slap him on his head, but outside of that, no one wants to. Where's the accountability? What do you mean? AJ just fought in. Where did AJ fought in? Did AJ fight in Eddie Hearn's backyard? Wasn't it? Was it? Either way, it weren't far off. Pretty sure it was. Wherever it was, AJ's fought. All the UFC guys, McGregor has fought. Everyone's fighting, apart from Fury. It's amazing. No one else got no problems. No one else complaining about the environment. But a man who barely breaks in the top 5 of fight commerciability has got all the issues. Nah, that can't work.